Hey, welcome to Adult Conversation Radio Show with Sunshine. I was going to say Reloaded, but I changed the name for the third time. So it's actually just Adult Conversation Radio Show. So good to see everybody. I've been MIA. I know people been looking for me. Sometimes you can find me, and I might be somewhere and surprise you, but you never know. So, but it's Thursday night, so tonight I'm here. I should have been on air last Thursday, but my daughter got married on Monday, so her wedding was Monday. Yay! Congratulations to Clarissa and Aaliyah. And so, it wasn't busy, but it was just long. And she decided to schedule the meet of the families on Thursday. So I was going to come, but then she messed up the time. So I had like this agenda of all my responsibilities. And I'm like, why do I have so many responsibilities if there's a wedding planner? But I still, showed up. It was a nice event. I'm very happy for her and her spouse. And, they're doing well. They're actually vacationing in Sarasota. So they left and went to Sarasota. And one of my favorite beaches in the world, which I've mentioned before, is there, which is Siesta Keys, because the sand feels like baby powder. But it's crazy. And let me tell you how crazy and ironic things go. She sent me pictures. She was like, oh my gosh, I got to FaceTime you. Like, you got to see where we're staying. I don't know the name of the resort. I didn't get that far yet. But she's literally staying in the Sunshine Suite. And next door is the Pineapple Suite. So there's a sign out front, and like all throughout the where she's staying, it's all these "You are my sunshine," and everybody needs a little bit of sun. It's just sunshine signs everywhere. So of course, me, my ghetto side, starting early, I'm like, steal everything. But then I was like, no, don't steal anything. And I said, oh, I didn't know that y'all was going to do your honeymoon like swingers. She like, Ma, stop playing. So no, she I said, well, it's not because the pineapple's not upside down. And I said, and for me, in my opinion, swingers stole that anyway. That was never really yours. There's always been pineapples. But of course, the upside down pineapple represents the lifestyle. So then the second funny thing that happened since she's been gone, and I mean, she literally flew out Tuesday morning. So we're talking about a couple of days ago. She was like, she's like, they wanted to try another beach. So she was trying to figure out which beaches was in the area. So I'm at work, and she called. Well, I'm in the office, and she called me, and she's like, Ma, like, what's the new beach in Sarasota? And I was like, oh, like I don't know off the top of my head. Like, I have a list. Like, I'd have to look it up for you. And she was like, yeah, because I'm not sure. She's like, it's Lido Beach. I'll say, oh, hold up, the name rings a bell. Definitely a new beach. So I told her a couple of weeks ago when I was at Mahiso for the bull roast, and she was teasing saying they're coming. And I was like, you can't be around naked people with your clothes on. It makes us feel uncomfortable. So I guess that stuck in her mind, because then when she pulled up at the beach, the new beach in Sarasota, she was like, I said, now some beaches are topless, so it may not be nude, it might just be topless. And then she's like, oh, I think it might be nude. Oh, she's definitely taking off her bikini top. Oh, she's taking off her bottom. So I laughed so hard. And I said, well, you can still, she's like, well, we're not going to go because you said we would make people feel uncomfortable if, we're dressed and they're not. So it was cute. But I told him, I said, just go check it out. Like, don't stay though. Like, you need to go to the clothed beach so people do feel comfortable. It's funny that people who wear clothes or are used to wearing clothes feel uncomfortable when it's time to be nude, but then people who are used to being nude, people with clothes on make them uncomfortable as well. So it actually goes both ways, which is something people don't even think about. But that's about it. Yeah. I think I took the last show I talked about the Mahiso bull roast. I don't know if I had went or I was about to go. But either way, fabulous time. No, I didn't talk about it because I didn't talk about the raffle. So if you've been following me for a long time, my friend and who used to rock with doing videos when I travel for the Sunshine stuff, Flip, he also was there with us. So I don't know why we didn't take a picture together and post it. But anyway, it was funny because during the Bull Roast, which is one of their big events of the year, they always have a raffle. I definitely didn't tell this story because I got giddy just talking about it. So they usually have about anywhere from 12 to 15 baskets. So in previous years, I won a basket. Like it's like a raffle. You buy raffle tickets. They're like $1 for 3 tickets or whatever. So I'm always going to support because I want to support the establishment, and they are a nonprofit. Like, everything comes from volunteering and membership. And I'm not a member. Like, there's certain criteria you have to meet to become a member. I hope to become a member, but we'll see how that goes. So anyway, the baskets. So I bought $20 worth of raffle tickets for the baskets. And these are some really nice baskets. They're not like shitty baskets. So, of course, there's like 3 baskets that have Fireball. So I want a Fireball. I want one of the baskets for Fireball. I mean, it's like a liquor basket. It's like a tiki basket. So it was a basket if you had a pet. I mean, it was so many baskets. A lot of the things in the baskets I already had. So it's not like I need a 5th of them. Well, I do need the 5th of liquor, but not the 5th of what's in the basket. So I went down the line and put my raffle tickets in for what I would like to win the most. So as they're calling the numbers, I ain't winning shit. So I was excited. What, Flip won the tequila basket? Yeah, he won the tequila basket. So he got like 2 tequila glasses. It had 2 bottles of tequila. And again, they're nice baskets. They're worth the donation because really what you're making is a donation and an opportunity to win. So all the baskets get called, and then I see someone that I knew me for years that has been places I've been for years. So we were talking. So the last part is the 50-50. So I also had $20 worth of tickets for the baskets and $20 worth of tickets for the 50-50. So as the basket getting called, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's my basket. Like, I'm such a loser, and I'm a sore loser at that, but it's all in fun. There was other sore losers around me. So so they just keep calling like this same row numbers. And I'm like, where are the 4 series or where's the 5 series, like my numbers? So I don't know. So the gentleman that I've been speaking with, he was like, I said, well, shit, I guess the only thing left for me is the 50-50. He's like, that's mine. I said, oh, excuse me. I said, okay. I said, but I do want you to know that it was calling for thunderstorms all day that Saturday. So that was 2 Saturdays ago. Calling for thunderstorms all day. As soon as I went in the room and changed my clothes and got ready, I'm not even lying. When I walked back in my bedroom, the sun started shining. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be such a great day. The sun shined all day. Anyway, back to the raffle. So then after the baskets, they're all gone. I ain't get shit. So then I had my little tickets laid out for the 50-50, and I was like, oh, I know they about to call my number. And I'd be goddamn if they didn't call my number. So the vagina redesigner was like, you got it. And I was like, I know, but I just went here one more time. So I turned around. I said, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that one more time in my best sunshine voice? No. So he repeated the number, and then I turned around. I was like, that would be me. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So extra $375. I only paid $103 to be at the event. So I like quadrupled, multipled, whatever, whatever that number is, my money. So since I was still bitter about the not getting a liquor basket. Is let me say this first. Soon as I left, I bullshit you not, I'm on 95. It started raining like shit. So as soon as I left, it started raining. And then I said, well, shit, I don't need that liquor. I go buy my own liquor because I got all the monies. So I showed up, rode to the liquor store. I got some Stella. What's that wine I like? Stella who? Stella Rosa, yeah. She has a brandy out. So I tried that. Won't be trying that again. That's a little too hard for me. But she does have a brandy out. And I mean, it's smooth, but I'm just not really a brandy drinker. It's a little too sweet. And then got my half a gallon of Fireball. And I got, I think I got some coconut rum chata. So I made my own basket with my monies. And I'm not even lying. Why? I'm so cheap. Not cheap, frugal. I'm not even lying. Like, let me show you. I have proof. Here's the 250s that came with my 50-50. I still got the monies. I didn't even spend it all. So I've been randomly spending it. That had to be 2 weeks ago. Yeah, because I've been randomly spending it. But yeah, cha-ching. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. I'm telling you, I knew. And then I looked at him and I said, oh, I'm sorry I took your monies. Like that. No, this was not yours. This was mine since I didn't get a basket. Now that I got a basket, somebody else could have had the money. So I'm telling you, I do believe that if you're nice to people and you're kind to people, it comes back. But I did meet some new people during my day. I think they had like, how many people they have? Like 100 and something? 120, 130. There are a lot of peoples. There was a lot of people there, and you'd be surprised if you actually just take the time to talk to somebody how many things you have in common. Because I met this woman, and she was like, yeah, when I turned 60, I said, fuck it. I said, I did that at 50. So we had a great conversation, but always a good time. If you want more information on Mahiso, it's a great place to go visit. It's in Davidsonville, and that actually is the Maryland Health Society. There's a longer acronym, but people tend to remember Maryland Health Society. So definitely check them out. I don't get anything for promoting them. We're not partners. I just love being there. And like, you get out your car, you take your clothes off, and you walk, and you're in the forest, so no one can see you. So there are some things I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna keep that going. So back to the show tonight. That was part of the show. Oh, almost left out. Happy birthday to Just Drew. His birthday was yesterday.
This day!
That would be Just Drew. And I have not been able to catch up with him. So if anybody's listening who has caught up with him, please let him know that Sunshine is looking for him. So I want to definitely get a chance to catch up with him. So tonight we're going to be talking about letting go of past fucks. And not just past fucks, but it could be like, maybe you didn't fuck them, but you wanted to fuck them. So they're like a fuck fantasy. Or you did fuck them, but you don't want to fuck them no more. Or you fucked once, but you don't want to fuck them again. That type of stuff. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper into making sure you understand what past fucks are from my perspective. So past fucks, how did I fuck up the first sentence? It's basically they have an issue with letting go of you and the past for whatever reason. So they typically cannot let go because they feel they will never find someone so right for them. Again, even if they choose a new partner, they can never forget the time spent with you or even care about a new partner in the same way. It's almost as if they cannot accept the finality of the friendship, fuckship being completely over. And it doesn't have to be, it could have been a friendship, it could have been a relationship, it could have been just a fuck situation, it could have been a fuck partner, travel partner, but whatever relationship that you had that you decided you don't want to continue with. And you are good with moving on, but they're not good with moving on. That's really where I'm going with that. So it's probably going to be a little bit opinionated. It's definitely woman opinionated, but as always, we have men in the studio, so they'll correct me if I go too far off the nice things that I should say. Not that I have any nice things to say. And of course, as always, something happened that triggered this. It wasn't just something that I thought of off the top of my head. Why am I missing a whole sheet of paper? Please tell me that it's in here. Okay, good. Sorry, guys. So, what can you do? What shows you that someone has not gotten over the past? And there's a lot of things that people do. For example, they'll continue to reach out to you over and over again and repeatedly trying to make connection with you or contact with you or just following your moves and how you do it and what you do. So what are you going to do to move past that? Like, how can you draw the line with the relationship? People make that really hard to do, and they see it as a you being mean to them situation versus the reality of what it really is. Because you can't force someone to be friends with you. You can't force someone to be a fuck partner. You can't force someone to do anything that they don't want to do. And that even includes the simplicity of just talking to you. And people really have a hard time with that. They don't understand why, basically why you're being mean. But in reality, are you really being mean? Like, are they stuck in something that's over, even though that you've moved on? And one thing that really annoys me about relationships from the past, if there was never really a clear, defined line of what you are to me and what I am to you, you can't like draw these fantasies and conclusions in your mind and expect the other person to go along with it when that's never what, and I've talked about stuff like this before in a different way. You can't just expect them to be your go-to when there's nothing for you to really discuss. If you're really done. But I think people hold on to a lot of hopes and in hopes that you'll reconcile and get back together. But if that's not really a reality, like where does it end? That's kind of what I want to discuss tonight. What can you do to get over someone from the past that doesn't want anything to do with you? Do you, Game Master, do you have anybody have you ever been stalked by an ex? I said that all boldly, I know, right?
Never. I'll be honored for.
I was going to see, and that was the flip side of that, because I was going to ask you, would you see it as flattery?
It depends on the individual.
Yes, definitely.
Trust and believes. I've seen enough, stalker movies.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I'm using the term stalker really loosely. It's not like the movies. Like, I'm not talking about the movies, like you creeping up in their house and sitting in front. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the constant contact and annoyance and expectation of someone that has clearly said, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Because I'm a firm believer in some people were meant to come through our lives, not necessarily stay in our lives. But if they want you to stay in their lives, it gets a little sticky when you're like, what the fuck? I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, for me, let me ask Vagina Redesigner. Have you ever had a problem with stalkers?
I've had people do the crazy stalkers show up at your house, be in your bed, go to your phone.
In your bed?
Oh, yeah, what's up? Breaking in your house and shit.
Oh, okay. So you've actually had break-ins. Oh, okay. So did you think that they were psychotic, or did you think they were just infatuated with you? What was your thought on Because again, like Game Master said, it depends on the person. So,
I don't put much effort into thinking about why someone's crazy.
but are they always crazy or are they sometimes just confused and hurt? It's not a trick question. It's just, whatever you think about it. It's not really,
Confused, hurt, impulsive, impetuous. All of these things are in the same umbrella.
right.
Some people feel like they're crazy is applicable to the situation.
I think that it's
I
a
imagine if you ask a crazy person their opinion of
why they did it.
was okay in their mind, then yeah, of course they're crazy as nature.
Right. What did you say, Game Master?
I mean, in the end, I'm reminded of like they always somehow for someone to stalk. Or I would say stalk. Stalk's not. If it's someone.
I know
who's
stalk
obsessed,
is a strong word, or
it's
be
always
obsessive,
obsessive.
or aggressive.
Yeah. So they have this odd vision in their head of how the relationship should be, even though it either A, never really started,
Mm-hmm.
and if it has, they don't see it as ending. So and I think, for someone like that, they have to. I mean, it is difficult to try to help them let go while you moved on.
Right.
So.
And then I think, as I've talked about, yes, we can definitely talk about, Dennis, someone can you say restraining order? But again, it depends on the level of the stalking. I mean, and again, stalking is a loose term. I mean, to me, if you've texted me 20 times and I haven't responded in like 3 months, I think that's a clear sign that I'm not interested in communicating with you anymore. But if you continue because you get upset because I'm not responding, and then you start sending me like harsher text messages, like, what the fuck? Like, why you ain't responding? Because I don't want to fucking talk to you. I mean, I don't know like how other plain I could see it. But there's a number of reasons for it, and most of them are, unfortunately, they're psychological. Like, it's in your mind. And that's the hard part, to get people to understand that if it's over, it's over. Like, you can't do anything to make it go back to not being over. And I also I think we're so as a society, we're so into doing shit wrong and then expecting to be forgiven, because we're taught it through religion, we're taught it through family. Like, no matter what fucked up thing someone does to you, and I should say, what's the shit I always say? Whether it's intentionally or non-intentionally, because that makes a big difference too. You could hurt someone unintentionally, but you still hurt them. It doesn't change the fact that you hurt them. Or you can do reckless shit and hurt people intentionally, but they still expect to be forgiven. But as I've said before, I kind of stopped forgiving people, because when I realize I'm forgiving you for you, I'm not forgiving you for me. And then once I forgive you, you have this open door to do the same shit to me again, because I forgave you. So if I just cut the line and be like, you know what? I don't fucking forgive you. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to feed into your bullshit. I don't want to be a part of your drama. I don't want to be a part of your problem. And I don't want to be a part of your mental solution, because forgiving you just opens the door for you to do the same shit to me. I mean, it really hurt. It's really, you're hurting someone. And I feel that, especially with the younger, I was going to say with the younger people, because I think older people do have a different mindset when it comes to what's hurtful and what's not. If I personally, where I'm at in life now, if I was to hit up, it's happened to me before. I've reached out to somebody I haven't talked to in a long time for whatever reason, and I thought I had their current phone number, but I don't. I got an old phone number, and they don't respond. Their ex responds. I'm very good at say, oh, well, who I am and why I was trying to reach them, because I don't want you to feel intimidated. I don't want to scare you. It really wasn't that serious. However, a lot of people often get so, they don't even want to, they're so upset because of the breakup not realizing that the relationship was unfucking healthy in the first place. Like, it wasn't a good relationship. It was an unhealthy relationship. Because if it was good, you'd still be in it. I'd love to hear your opinion. I could take a pause. Pause.
Pause. I let's say this. I'll put an example.
Okay.
A personal example. So when I was having a long distance relationship with someone, and she called me over the phone that we're breaking up. But the key thing here is like, as you said earlier about the age of the thing. And at the time, I was like 18, 19 at the time, I believe, going into 20. So wanting to have closure, didn't seem the sense of fact of being wanting it to end. I just needed understanding.
Right.
So sometimes you have to. There are people who just wants to say, "Hey,
why just go down like this?"
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, like what happened? Why or whatever? And mind you, some people will look at that scene from Hitch where Will Smith is crying in the rain.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, it's just a simple answer.
Right.
It's just like a simple question for a simple answer. And even though his ex new man says, so like, you're doing it right now, that's not an answer. Just him just saying, hey, he just wanted to, be there for her, love her unconditionally and all that stuff. But in the end, it's like, look, if she never answered his question.
Right.
So I think when it comes to things like this, besides that, we talked about the obsessive people, aka, or sometimes stalking. But for people who just wants proper closure, I think those are the ones I feel have the sense of understanding of they know the relationship is over.
Right.
They just want to know why. So that way, for themselves, they can try to better themselves for the next person.
Right. And I mean, if you don't you definitely need closure. And I'm in total agreement with that. You need like the final say and why things didn't work out. And you especially need that if you thought things were going good and then the other person doesn't feel they're going good. So that's definitely a clear issue. And a lot of times I think it's that people can't communicate well and be honest in the first place. So although it seems the relationship is going well, for whatever reason, the other person doesn't feel that way. Especially when you're talking about a long distance. If you're talking about a long distance relationship, and it ain't even got to be long. I'm talking about East Coast. Because I've had the same thing. People that I've had the same thing just in Maryland. Like somebody that I rock with, we were cool. And I ain't talking about, to me, everything, if you communicate with the person, you're in a relationship. It could just be a friendship or whatever you want to label it. It could even be a business relationship. But I don't expect to be doing business with somebody and then all of a sudden they disappear. And you don't fucking tell me where'd you go? I mean, like, what happened? Did you don't know. So closure is important. And then I also think closure is good at clearing the mind. Because then once you clear your mind, you can, you're better able to deal with the dissolving the friendship. So, but again, what if you can't get closure?
If you can't,
I have a solution, but I want to see what you would like to see before I say the harsh shit that I'm gonna say.
Well, funny enough, there's a person who I really like, and I saw her like the last time I saw her was like 5 years ago, and next thing you know, it's like I'm still in connection with her mom, but we kind of like haven't spoken to each other personally in like 5 years. Don't know why. I feel like I'm so cool with her, unless just that type of thing. But but understanding that of not talking to him, it's just like, okay, I guess the relationship has dissolved. She focused on whatever, and of course I'm doing my own thing. So, those type of things you sort of like, okay, just keep on walking. Just like, CC Pennison said, keep on walking.
So at what point though? Okay, so there is no time frame to heal. And I completely understand that, even though we do have to keep in mind, time does heal everything. Even if it just heals that you ain't here no more, so you ain't got shit to worry about. I mean, it's going to heal it one way or another. It's going to get healed. But I think that the focus when you have bad breakups and saying bad meaning one person is hurt and it wasn't a mutual agreed. And again, I'm not just talking about partnerships, you're dating. I'm just talking about even friendships. Because I know I have friends that have been very upset because I ended the friend. I'm not even talking about, it wasn't nothing sexual at all. We were just friends. And I just decided that you're a lot of work. And like, I don't necessarily need to be your friend anymore because you're draining me. So, people drain me of my energy all the time. But when you reach that like 60 percentile, if I'm spending 60% of my time consoling your life, I didn't sign up for that. And I didn't ask for that position. There was no application process. I didn't sign on the dotted line. You really have to decide, is this friendship, relationship, whatever, I don't want to keep saying that, but whatever you coin it as, are we both being equally satisfied? Are you getting from the relationship what you're giving? And even though the answer is typically going to be no, or you may see it in one way that the other person doesn't see it, that's, of course, back to what I always say is communication is the key. I'm a person that I will tell you to your face on purpose, probably when I'm mad at your ass, that you skating on thin ice. And I'm not joking. It's not a joke. Like, I'm literally saying this because it's a fact. And I know what you're doing to me. You're causing me drama. You're stressing me out. And I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this. And this could be any person. I don't care if it's somebody I dated, fucked, used to know. I don't care. Like, family, I don't care what you are to me. If you're causing me more trouble continually than and I can't focus on the things that I need to do for myself, then you just can't be a part of my life anymore. And it's my cutoff. So I don't know, I'm old too, and I'm like tired of taking care of people. So it's multiple things to that. But it's what you said is very important, and closure is important. But then also a lot of people like to fantasize about the relationship that they had. And you're alone in that fantasy. Because you may even see that relationship as something the other person didn't even see. For example, back in the day, when I had my team of fuck boys, that's what you were. And you knew that. Like, you didn't all of a sudden jump from fuck boy category to boyfriend material, much less husband material. So then when there was never a talk about that, and even though you may have, certain hopes and dreams and aspirations that this friendship is going to flourish into, if the other person does not feel the same, you're kind of setting yourself up for being really hurt and having a hard time to get over the person that you're dealing with. And then that also leads to the negative shit that nobody wants to be dealing with. For me, I never really had like issues where someone broke, we weren't friends anymore or acquaintances or whatever. And like, I was like, well, what the fuck? It would be more so I have concern for that person, or I cared about that person and I want them to be safe, but not necessarily, I'm dwelling in the fact that the shit didn't work. So I guess it depends how it goes. But living in a fantasy world, you really got to come to a resolution of what was your fantasy and what was something that you both actually talked about. That was the realistic part of what the relationship was. Because I find, like, you could ask the male of a friendship, so why are you friends with, a good example, when I get testimonials for the website, or when I used to, like, it's easy to tell if someone is more into me than I'm into them. But luckily, I would only ask people to do testimonials that I'm into, that I'm into as a human. Because I'm not going to ask somebody that I don't really fuck with like that to do a testimonial. That would be silly. So, but it's when I read how they feel about me, I feel the same exact way about them. So they're kind of like friends for life. Like you. I don't care what I'm doing or where I'm at. You're kind of stuck with me, you know. Yeah, you know. I'm not even if I'm not doing here. I'm still your friend. It's not that's not going to change, you know. Thoughts?
That is now that's something, I because it opens up the discussion of um, things like the fan sites,
Mm-hmm.
OnlyFans, fans, whatever. Mind you, you get a chance to interact with um, you know people that you're fans of. Mind you, of course, we all know OnlyFans is now freaking adult entertainment site in a
Right.
sense. Um, but but there's of course others, and it's kind of funny they have, mind you, they have those restrictions and rules of how to communicate with them, but the whole sense of I don't know, it's like a false friendship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just to me it's like you'll like 99 point, I'll say 6, not 9 but 6, you will never meet this person
Ever
in
in
person.
life,
Yeah, so
unless they're at Exotica.
yeah, so unless you're just visiting, yeah. So um, unless there's some form of mild communications or whatever. I mean, but I think I think there you have to sort of like for some
Mm-hmm.
they have. I think they're so all into because it's like, oh, this person likes me. They really like me.
They
We're friends.
believe that
Yeah,
shit
they
is the
believe that shit,
reality.
right? But in the end, it's like this is a fantasy.
This is and we're
For,
what are you providing?
Yeah.
They're providing. We're fulfillers. I do the same shit under different venues, but you're just fulfilling a fantasy.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you're gonna go any further.
Right.
And again, if you are a fan, you should expect fan shit.
Right.
You can't expect relationship shit
Right.
on some fan shit. It's not the same, you know.
So that's where I think
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like if surprisingly enough, on one of the cam sites, one of the cam people I was following, she says, "Hey, I'm leaving. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm having a final show." Mind you, with her, technically she was my first cam girl, so and we had a good bonding relationship. So, and I understood the fact that she was leaving,
Right.
and we had a nice final, time episode or whatever, good 20 minutes. Yes, I'm exposing all of these.
You fine. You know you fine. You always fine here.
But the thing is, it's the fact that it's like understanding that they are human.
Right.
And most people, I think, like you said, for me, I see them. Mind you, it's like I know what they're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to how to handle people, so it's like I still treat them like a human being. I don't treat them just like a freaking sex bot.
Right.
So it's just like I think more ways than one. I think you could get a better relationship, especially with any cam person or fan person that you deal with. If you do treat them like a person and respect their boundaries on that.
Right.
I think the fact that when something like that ends, those type of somehow those people, I kid you not, I do read it's like, why are you leaving? So I thought we had something together and all that stuff. And I recently saw like, yeah,
it's cute. It's so cute though.
True. And I remind you, it was on a television show, the alert searching for the missing, and it was like, down goes Frazier, and there is a guy, they were his wife, for some odd reason, kidnaps.
What?
Yeah, this is the weirdest show.
Oh my gosh.
It's not a weird show, but it was a good show. It's Alert. If you ever get to see that, so the guy, there's this woman. She was about to get married, and apparently, she like disappears. Everyone's like wondering where she went, and she used to be a cam model. So it turns out that one of his viewers, his wife finds out that he paid her all this stuff, so she ends up kidnapping her and
Oh my
and all that
gosh.
stuff.
So it was real
Because
drama.
because of the fact that it's like she's mad because all their savings went to her and all that stuff. It was so funny. It was funny but serious at the same time. But the thing is, the whole point is that there are people who are so obsessed with a cam model and their parents and stuff like that, and when they leave, somehow their soul is taken because this is like seems like this is their only significant relationship they ever had, even though you've never met, and the only time you see him is on screen.
But we're inundated with, hey baby, we're inundated with the thought of what's perfect.
Right.
Like that's what media shows us, what's perfect. And then also another thing that I don't think people are into the realization of, we always put our best foot forward when we're out. So, like, you could be in a disastrous relationship, but if you're dealing with a mature set of people, you would not know what goes on behind their closed doors because it's not meant for you to know. What you see is the courtesy that they show each other when they're in public. That doesn't mean, I mean, all the superstars, if you think about it, how many superstars got caught with some bullshit? They were slipping, and they wanted media to think, they were the perfect couple, but they got too many stalkers to hide that shit. Because, I mean, what's that show? They always following all the celebrities around at their worst times. Yeah, Tia, definitely. They always following them around and catching them when they don't want to be caught. But to your point, that's definitely a part of the fantasy world. That's definitely a part of that. It just seems so good because I mean it's funny, and we're gonna get tonight's game. We're gonna touch on that just for one brief question, but it's the same thing because I do think that's what gets into a lot of getting hard to move past something. But I mean, you could put it in anything. Think of all the stress we handle, like on a daily. I can say daily because I think we all handle a lot of stress on a daily basis. If you think about the amount of stress that we handle on a daily basis, your relaxation time is those outside relationships where you can just be free and have fun and socialize and fuck or fantasize or masturbate or talk or whatever it is you do that you do outside of your workday. That's your time. So it's devastating when that ends. Like, I mean, if I don't see something with Baby Yoda in it soon, I'm probably going to lose my shit. It's like when your favorite show ends, like that they had support groups for when Game of Thrones ended. I mean, is it not the same thing? I mean, we're so into responsibility and structure in an environment that we can't control. Our personal time should be an environment that we can control. So we're a little more devastated. Like, if you don't own the business that you work for, you be like, I'm going to try to make sure shit goes right to the best of my ability. But at the end of the day, it is what the fuck it is. But in your personal life, it's chaotic.
To be sadder about not being able to ride the dragon.
I want to ride a dragon.
Miss a cam model.
So wait, what are you saying now? You're saying that the worst is to you what? So silly.
I find that the
FOMO. Back to FOMO.
When it comes to like real shit, that shit should be easier to get over than fantasy shit.
But everything I spoke of is fantasy.
Like if I'm reading a good book and I want to be in that world, I should miss that world because it can't personify itself. A real motherfucker.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So you're saying there's no excuse. That you're saying that in real life, well, it's hard. I don't know, because I love my furries. And I want that to be my real life. But they are to me. I understand. So like I said when I started, the topic is letting go of past fucks. And I should have said fuckery. I should have named it fuckery because that's really where we're diving into now. I started with fucks because, yeah, I'm tired of people living in the past. However, our how to get over our past fuckery. I mean, like, but relationship shit is deeper when there's human feelings involved. And another part of, well, what I was going to suggest for, if you did not get closure, I didn't want to get away from that. If you did not get closure and you need closure, I think a good solution is to close it yourself. Like I'm a big opponent of write a letter. Like write them a letter, just get your feelings out, even though you can't get an answer to it. Use your best assessment and close it out. I mean, you ain't got to send it. You could write it, burn it, rip it up, throw it away, or sit down and have a conversation with them. Get you a dummy prop. I ain't talking about the blow up dolls, but get you something to symbolize them, and talk and just get it out of your system. Because I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but it's not that crazy if you can better yourself and move on. Because the bad thing about closure, um, for me, most of my decisions to end friendships or relationships were based on aggressiveness of the other person. So I'm not giving you any closure. Like I'm done. So, if I and also I've given many opportunities at being a good person. I've stated what you do that I don't agree with, the things you say, the way you behave that I can't get with. So if you're not hearing me or you think I'm joking, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So why should I give you closure? If you were listening, I've been giving you fucking closure for the last year. Because I mean, it takes me a long time to do away with somebody. It's not a fun thing. Like, I liked having a lot of family and friends and, people around me that I cared about. But if you're living in a different way than I'm trying to live, we're going in a different direction. We're on two different paths. What the fuck am I holding on to? Hope? Because then at that point, I'm holding on to hope because I'm hoping you're going to improve. And then when you don't, I'm going to be disappointed over and over and over again. And I don't want any more disappointment. I can depend on me. I know motherfucking well what I'm going to do. Like, I know I'm on point. So if you can't be on point, you got to go. Yeah, and Darrell said deep diving into your fantasy world. I mean, I love the fantasy world. I don't think I could handle the real world if I didn't enjoy my fantasy world so much. I watched this movie the other night. It's always things remind me of movies that I watch. And it was called Old Man. Was that on Netflix? Hello? Was Old Man on Netflix? Hulu. Yeah, Old Man was on Netflix. It's really not like it's not the type of movie I typically would. Oh, sorry, my back itch. Type of movie I wasn't trying to flash. I'm trying to scratch my back. Type of movie I would typically watch, but I didn't turn it on. But then I started watching it, and he was definitely in his own world. Like he was in his whole own world, and I don't want to tell the movie, but basically his younger self is visiting his older self about the shit that he can't believe he did. So at the end, when it all came, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. But he spent so much time scaring his younger self. It was almost like he was trying to go back and like be like, you did that shit. Don't do that shit, because she was cheating. So I don't know. It's weird. Luckily, I was trying to watch something to wind down and go to sleep, and it worked perfectly because I slept like a baby after that. But then I watched another movie. What was the movie called? Run. It kept saying Run. What was that movie called? Vagina Redesigner. What was the other movie called where it kept saying Run? I told you, focus. The movie that they kept telling the lady to run. That it was a guy. No, what's that called? What was that movie called? There was a woman and she went on a date for her boss. No, no, Sweetheart. Is it Run, Sweetheart, Run? You gotta Google it, because now I can't say it and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But it was the what it was about, and this also put me into this thought of this topic tonight, because people live in different worlds, and you might not even be in their world, but they want you in that world. So there's a lot of fantasy that ends up being a reality, and then that's when people end up getting hurt. So I do think it's important to talk about how to get over feelings from the past, because you have to. And I keep saying this. I said this to my daughter a lot, and she was like, I told her like the night before the wedding, and I'm like, I just need you to remember that every second is the past, and like you can't change it. And it's just so true. You can't fix what already happened. So it's better to focus on what's next. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
As you say that, and unfortunately, I'm like you say, going back to movies. I go back to watching a shit show called The Flash. That's what he did. If anyone who's a fan of the Flash comic book itself, and anyone who ever saw that mess, the Flash, just to see Michael Keaton, great, but
Understood.
Forget that. The premise story is called Flashpoint, and that was his main thing is, he wanted to fix something in the past. He was able to go back in the past and try to fix it. As much as you say you're telling your daughter you can't go back in the past, you can't fix that. What was the movie?
It was Run Sweet Run, but I want you to finish and then I'll finish.
So the thing is like him going back to the past, trying to change it
would only create a new problem.
Yeah, it would create a new, not just a new problem, it created a catastrophe.
That's good, because you can't change the past.
Right.
I mean, you just, and it's almost like, what point do you get to where I want to say let the past go, but I know that's easier said than done. But it's true. I mean, I think that we wouldn't have as many people in therapy if people learned how to let the past go. I mean, in a more efficient manner, I should say, or just really focus on the real. I don't want to get too technical, but really focus on the reality of some shit does end. I mean, everything ends. Everything. The cycle is never going to stop. It's even like as the world evolves around us and we lose things we once had. So, I'm big on the animal stuff too. So it's like when you learn, first of all, we're always finding new organisms and new animals and new creatures that we didn't even know ever existed. But it's like, did you forget all the shit we already lost? So nothing goes on forever. Like everything runs out. So it's like, I'm not saying that you don't want to preserve it for future generations, but you also have to deal with the reality. I would love to see if a dinosaur ride a dragon. I already said that shit. Is that going to happen? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? But I don't wake up every morning and be like, oh my fucking God, I need a dragon. I mean, you just can't. So what do? You enjoy and indulge in the fantasy world, and then move on. But I'm not going to not go to work because Lord of the Rings ended. I mean, I still got that shit ain't going to, they ain't send me no money for the series, I mean, I'm always hopeful. I'm like, we watch Witcher too. And I've read that they're going to change the main character on Witcher. So we'll see. I'm already a little bitter about that because I don't know if I kind of got used to him, I mean, I don't know. Just shit changes. But relationships, friendships, fuckawationships are the same way. At some point, it's going to end. Okay, so here's the thing. And I want both of you to tell me this. If the person's still here, like on Earth, and they just don't want to deal with you anymore, you don't have the closure you need, or, you didn't feel that the separation was handled properly, and you're a little bit annoyed about it. So how would you feel if they just had dropped dead? You still ain't going to have no closure. You still ain't going to know. I mean, it's the same. You end at the same place. Because you can't ask them. You never can ask them unless you're going to meet them wherever they went, up or down, east or west, north or south. I don't know. It's true. I mean,
I think, like I said, for me, it will be kind of unfortunate because one, it's not the sense of getting the closure. It's the sense of the fact that I'm not able to talk to that person
right,
as a friend again.
Mm-hmm.
So, just to say hi, just to even text, and just to, even though I won't get a response, knowing the fact that they're not here no more.
Right.
So I think, when it comes to things of, whatever grudge or even just a simple, like, the dissolving of the relationship without any proper understanding of why it ended, I think that will go away due to the fact that I can't,
right,
interact with this person ever again.
And don't misunderstand. I'm not saying you're wrong, because I have definitely had situations where someone didn't respond to me for too long and I lost my shit. And it kind of, to me, depends on how much you're vested. You know what I'm saying? You can't just disappear, and you're vested. So I totally get it. And it shit happens. So what about you, Vagina Redesigner? Do you ever wait? Hold up. You probably the wrong. Look, you so old and ornery. You might not be able to answer this properly. Let's start with: have you ever needed closure?
Life is not fixed. I hope as we've gotten past 30.
Yeah, but you're mean. It don't. You're you. Yeah.
It's a matter of maturity and consideration. If you two mature parties can have a mature conversation, they can be close. But most times,
It's not. It doesn't. People aren't good at
that is
communicating.
not the case. As you are younger and get older, and you only get that point as you get older.
So I give you the same point. Say the person is not here and you cannot seek that closure. Do you think getting over that ending of that relationship, because it's the same thing, is just as hard to get past? If you really put it, because there's several reasons why you can't get closure.
There's a certain finality to the human condition.
I definitely
I
do.
think
But so does
death
disappearing.
makes you grieve over the relationship a lot differently than ghosting or someone just going to the other side of the country and stay.
But that's a good way. The same process we go through in grieving is an excellent process to go through in getting over someone from the past. If you grieve the relationship the same as you grieve the loss of them, you never being able to talk to them again, it will prevent a lot of the time you bring in the what ifs, coulda, shoulda, woulda, what, oh, I always thought this person was going to be in my life and they're just not. I think it's really, if you're in love with someone and it's not reciprocated, I think the process is almost the same. I'm not saying I'm not comparing them. I'm not saying exactly the same, but in their mind, it's the same. What do you think about that?
I was saying that, so yes.
That's it. You didn't say you thought it was the same. You said that.
Tim.
Yeah, you actually said grieving was different.
Going to death and how it applies to relationships. Yes. I agree. If you look at relationships in the death metric, it'd be easy to get over.
Okay. So we're gonna take a short break. I'm gonna rest, use the ladies' room, and when we come back, we're gonna talk just a little bit more of solutions to let go, as we were already talking about, and then we're gonna wrap up with how we can you remain just friends with a person, or is it best that if that person is having a difficult time getting over the past, if you should just completely ignore them? Because everybody has a different opinion. So we'll be back in a few minutes.
कह पाई रांझना वे फिर से मुझे जीना तुझ पे है मरना फिर से दिल ने दी है ये दुहाई साजना वे लकीरों पे लिख दे क्यों जुदाई हो ऐसा हुआ खुद से भी ना कोई मेरा दर्द से करते चले यारी दिल ये कह रहा खोलूं जो बाहें बस गम ये सिमट रहे हैं आँखों के आगे लम्हे ये क्यों हट रहे हैं जाने कैसे कोई सहता जुदाई
Welcome back to Adult Conversation Radio Show with your host, Sunshine Aces. Just me tonight. Tonight we've been talking about letting go of past fucks, and we were just talking about all aspects of past fucks: friendships, relationships, mates, exes, whatever you want to call it. All of the above. How to get over that and how to move on, and some of the things that we run into in trying to get over that. We definitely talked about closure, which I thought was a good one. And we also talked about if you're kind of fantasizing that the relationship that you have is different to you than it is to the other person. And a lot of times, too, which we talked about, is how the breakup kind of happens or how the situation dissolves. If we can put some, if we can move past it. And while we can't move past it, and then we talked about the people who can't, which is typically become side stalkers. Not stalkers in the sense of restraining order, but stalkers in the sense of you can't get over it. And one of the other parts of that I wanted to touch on was a lot of times, depending on what type of life you live, you run into situations where you may be a first memory of something for a person. So let's say that, let's go back to before everything became on social media, and like you were the first person that someone ever traveled with. Or maybe you were the person that someone had fucked the best, like they never been fucked like you fucked them. So it could be various factors that could cause someone to want to continue to be a part of your life or have this fantasy of you being a part of each other's lives forever. But that might not be the case for both parties. So if it's not, you really have to take an audit of what was I giving to the relationship and what was I contributing and what was the other person contributing. Because we talked about the balance a little bit earlier, and a lot of times the balance isn't equal. So you may be giving all that you have to give, but in reality, it's not enough. So someone may decide to move on. And then I think quite often in relationships, it's just not a good fit. And we touched on that. Like people think that everything is great and everything is fine, but since we try not to hurt people and we have a hard time communicating our true feelings, you may end up getting caught up on the fact that things aren't the way. Why do you look like that? It makes me, okay. Like, don't do that. I thought like you lost something important. Yeah, like your marbles. You probably did lose your marbles. So there's many reasons why it could be hard for people to get over an ex relationship. But I think it's important to focus on what you can control versus what you can't control. And like Game Master and I were talking about, every second is a pass. So sometimes some things you just can't go back and change, even though we may want to. It's kind of like when you make a bad decision and you can't change it. The decision has already been made, so you kind of have to live with it. You got to suck it up.
On a scientific level,
Mm-hmm.
a relationship releases dopamine and serotonin.
Yes, it does. Mm-hmm.
So the same reason people is addicted to crack is the same reason people are addicted to relationships.
That is true. That's
Hey, J-Lo, how you doing?
I mean, that is definitely true. I mean, if you reached your happiest high just from being around someone, you may seek that, and it may be very hard for you to move past not having that as part of your life. But I promise you, if when you get older, shit like that is not that important. Rest time is way more important. I mean, Game Master, you how long have you known me now? 4 years maybe?
4 years, yeah.
Do I talk the same now that I talked 4 years ago? I'm still the same,
Right.
but my process is different, is what I like to think.
Yeah, I think due to the fact of if you're basing it off the show,
Yeah.
Going from a foursome to twosome to.
But I mean, that's
solo.
always, if you got 4 partners and that's just you. I mean,
Yeah,
you
well,
masturbating solo.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is the fact that sometimes when it comes to bigger parties, pun intended.
Pun appreciated.
Um,
Pun appreciated.
some,
Yeah.
sometimes your personality isn't fully out there all the time. It's sort of like there's hits of it.
Right.
And I think when the numbers reduced it for you, and especially like say we're talking about the show, it grew and grew every time. So, and I got to see more of your personality, even though you had that personality right from the bat.
But everybody has to have a chance.
Yeah,
So,
so-
yeah. And I mean, I feel like I've grown a lot as a person in the last 5 years overall. Just like my life changed when everybody else's life changed. I mean, it's kind of like you're not exempt from change. Like if the world changes, shit changes. It's something we have to deal with. And if people's lives change, shit changes. And that's kind of how the getting over an ex. I mean, a lot of the people that I spent a lot of time with, I was more a supporter of their lifestyle and helping them enjoy the benefits of what I could provide versus me actually enjoying it myself. So I've always been passionate about talking about real shit that adults should talk about. I mean, I think shit we talk about, everybody should talk about. And I notice like sometimes, if depending on my topic, some people are just like, they'll just change the subject. Like they don't even want to talk about life because they don't know the answer. But you can't find the answer if you don't talk about it.
Stuck in a fantasy world.
Yeah, you're just stuck. I mean, what the fuck? So because we touched on stalking, and it's my duty to make sure, again, we were talking about a mild stalking, but stalking is a very serious thing, and it happens to a lot of people. And Game Master even shared with us about a kidnapping. Like, this be on some high-level shit.
It's a TV show, but it does happen in real life.
But it does definitely, well, it was a TV show, but we definitely know it happens in real life. And I have real friends. I've definitely been really stalked, like in real life. Like, not what I'm talking about with the mild, someone's feelings are hurt and they want you to communicate and you don't want to communicate. I have had the stronger versions of that, where I had to look over my shoulder or watch the people around and make sure the people with me knew who I was not, who was not good to be around me for whatever reason. I mean, I don't just coin you like as you did something fucked up. I mean, you really did it. So I do want to get, I want everybody to understand, like some examples of stalking are if you're repeatedly calling someone when they've asked you not to call them. If you're sending unwanted emails and text messages, it's still the same thing. And like I said, you should take a hint. If they're not responding, it's really time for you to come up with some closure and methods to move on. Sending you gifts and things that you have not asked for. Sharing your personal information with other people. One reason why I switched from my government to just Sunshine Aces was that very fucking reason. Because you have the relationship we have, it's not fair for you to share people's personal information with other people, but people do it all the time. Even people that have worked for government agencies and knew my government name, and maybe my name came across their desk, and you decide to call multiple people and let them know information about me that should not be fucking shared. Like, not okay. It's not okay. Spreading rumors, especially on social media. And we all know the social media wars. Drew used to be big, real hip on that shit. Like, I mean, people airing their breakups and their dirty laundry is just slightly ridiculous when it comes to social media. And remember, some shit you can't get rid of for the rest of your life. Also, collecting information or showing up places you are at. I had a big issue with that. As a person who speaks publicly about what I do and where I go and where I may be going, I kind of cut back a little bit. Like, I tend to tell people where I went, but not where I'm going. And the sole reason for that is because if I didn't invite you to show up, you don't need to show up where I'm at. Or even if you know my behavior and you know this is a place that I frequent, you shouldn't show up because I'm there. You're definitely a stalker, so you should face that.
There's some construction work downstairs.
Oh, I thought somebody's vibrator was on high. No, I'm just teasing. It was a strange noise though. Like, I'm always trying to be like, oh, is that a hammer jack? Oh, look at those guys on the boom lift. Like, I'm into construction. So, but showing up where places where you know someone is going to be at is definitely stalking unless you're communicating about it, and just flat out fucking refusing to leave a person alone. I mean, if someone straight up tells you, I'm sorry, I don't want to communicate anymore, or just really if they just stop responding, I'm a closure. I'm a like, you know what? I don't really know why I talk to you because I don't really gain anything from it, so I don't think I want to do it anymore. And I hang up the phone. I promise you, I meant what the fuck I just said. I don't want to talk to you anymore. And I don't want to argue over shit that's irrelevant to the productivity of my life. So, yeah, I'm going to cut you off real quick for that. So, but if you are being stalked, I love that noise for some reason. It's like someone's blowing a rubber band. I don't even know if you can hear it, but we can, but it's funny. So I'm just going to give you a couple of tips. I don't agree. Well, I'll tell you the ones that I believe in. Talk to your friends and family that you do trust and do support you to just watch your back, and that's important. If you don't have anybody you can trust, you might try to need to make some new friends. Like go to a church social, bowling. I don't know. Go to a bar, do something because you need to have a few people around you that you can trust that will take you seriously to just watch your back. Um, they go deep. I'm not really gonna go. Don't minimize their behavior though, because I have friends, not me personally. Well, I have friends, and I should say former friends, because most of them are former friends. You can't dive into the stalk situation. Like you can't be drunk one night and FaceTime the person that you think is your stalker and be like, I know you wish you could fuck me right now. I mean, you can't. Like you can't bait them. You can't tease them. And you can't want that attention if you really don't want the attention, because then you're kind of setting yourself up, and that's fucked up to do too. But then don't minimize their behavior, that think, oh, they'll get over it, and they're threatening you. Because I have had people actually threaten me, like seriously. And I always told my support system, my Team Sunshine, what the fuck was going on. Because once you threaten me, I don't trust you. So if you said it, I don't know if you're going to act on it or not. I don't know how many drugs you're doing and all the other shit you do when I'm not around. So if you say that if I know you feel some kind of way, I'm definitely going to talk to my friends about it to make sure I'm not in danger. And I do know for a fact that ignoring inappropriate behavior is putting yourself at risk. And I know this for a fact. Like, I can't tell you how much. Don't minimize the way fucking people behave. And don't minimize someone warning you that someone is dangerous. If someone told you somebody is dangerous, you should take that warning versus learning it yourself and shit being all fucked up. And don't feel sorry for them. This is a hard one for me, or I should say it used to be a hard one for me, because I do feel sorry for people. I don't like hurting people's feelings. I keep it real, and that's why I give so many chances, because I don't like hurting people's feelings. But you gotta, at some point, you can't keep making excuses for their behavior. Oh, they were tipsy. Oh, they were sleepy. Oh, so-and-so broke their heart. Fuck that. Sometimes you gotta be for self. You gotta protect yourself. And stop getting over sacrificing your own happiness for someone else's gets really lame after so many excuses. If you blame yourself, please don't. I don't know anybody who does that. Some people do blame themselves, though. Trusting someone is not a bad thing, but once you realize you cannot trust them, you need to move on. Then you don't have anything to blame yourself for. This is crazy, and it's crazy to even see this in writing, because change your number. I have had the same phone number, and I've said this before, since 1990. My phone number was a pager before it was a cell phone. Like cell one at Capitol Plaza Mall, for anybody who remembers that shit. It was a cell phone, and then it became singular, then it became some other shit. It's like my banking. Like I've had the same bank account since 1992. My shit start with 00. So if you were zero, you've been in it a long time. But I thought about, for the first time ever, I'm thinking about changing my number at the beginning of the year. If I can continue to clear out my phone of the things that I like to keep and the people I'd like to keep, I will definitely be changing my number. Because I remember I went from a BlackBerry to a cell phone. So the contacts, some of the people I've met people all over the world, and they're in my cell phone. I mean, especially my clubbing days. Like, there's I could type in a club and like 82 people come up. It's just ridiculous. And I haven't talked to most of those people from the day their number was put in my phone. So that's always a good idea, is to just change your number entirely. I've always been listed too, which I'm going to become unlisted. Well, no, that was my home phone. Do they list cell phone numbers? I can't even remember. Yeah, I think I've always been a listed person. Like, you can Google me and find my number. And then it's funny when people that got my card be like, can I get your number? Don't you got my card? Dummy, read the card. Anyway. Yeah, I may change the number. I got to get rid of the card. Oh, my God, now I got to get rid of the cards. I can't change my number with the same number on the card. Also, limit your activity on social media. And I've done this in the past 2 years as well. I miss every fucking thing. If I don't get an email, text message from a personal number, I may never see what you said for days later. Never change your number. Why? Oh, definitely fucking change your number. It clears the past.
No, son, you gotta let other people. You gotta transfer that effort, son. Don't put the effort on you.
But if I would much rather not be bothered by people I've told to stop bothering me. So I definitely would change my number.
Ignore the fuck.
That's easy for you to say, and you watch people find me all the time. You did teach me to ignore.
Person can talk to me in front of my face, and I can look through it. I'll teach you.
I know you taught me that, but I still don't. If my phone goes off, I still look to see who it is.
Nah, you ain't see through the phone. See?
We'll see on that. Stay off of social media. If it's really bad, I would suggest, make your account dormant for a little while. I mean, so you do what you got to do. Also, of course, like I said, don't be sending, get tipsy or whatever you're doing and send random things to lead them on. So be very direct. Change your routine. That's another good thing. And that's what I did. Like instead, if I don't want someone to show up that I don't want somewhere I'm at, I don't announce where I'm at. Like I said, I announce where I've been. This is a sticky one, but you know, a lot of times when you are friends with someone or you're in a relationship with them, you make the same friends. So like they're y'all's friends. They're both of your friends. So you have to consider, don't get caught up in that naive bullshit of thinking, oh, they're a better friend to me than they are to my ex-partner, because that might not be the case. You might have a person going back, muddying the waters even further and reporting. So be mindful of changing your routine and keeping in touch with people that your ex is keeping in touch with. Of course, don't accept gifts. You can't accept gifts if you don't want any contact. And keep your private life private. And I mean, I'm a firm believer in that, because there's still, most people don't know my government name. It's funny, people still ask me, and I'll be like, why? What you need? I mean, what you gonna do? I mean, what's the difference? I don't see the difference. Of course, same thing. Be careful of who you trust. If something does happen, make sure you keep track of it. And if shit's out of hand and the threats you think are real, or crazy shit like you got dead animals on your porch, or some, your car has been vandalized, and this person is a repeat offender at not leaving you the fuck alone, you should definitely seek a restraining order. And as we all know, they're very easy to get. The block their number is always, it's recommended, but it's always an iffy one for me. And I'm the type of person that I would like to know what a crazy motherfucker's thinking versus what a crazy motherfucker is not thinking. So I'm not a good blocker of numbers, because I think when someone hits me up that I don't want to speak to, depending on their level of aggressiveness, it tells me how safe I need to keep myself. So I like to kind of know where their mindset is, whether I respond or not. And it also keeps track of how many times you fucked with me. So I have a record that you have texted me 182 times in the past 6 months, and I have not responded one time. And that shit actually does stand up in court if you have to go there. So I didn't want to say the how to get over it and not go back to the stalking part. So I think we're going to play a game. Wait, we got to wrap up. I almost left wrap up. Wait, don't leave yet. We got to wrap up. Last part. So do you guys agree with the things that we should do to hold on to not? I'm going to sit. Do you want me to see if I can get you? Do you want me to stalk you for a little while? Or do you want me to get you a stalker? No, I'm just kidding. Next time, then you can talk about getting rid of stalkers. How do I get you a stalker? Do you want me to stalk you? Like, I can text you like every day. I'll send an email to be like, how you doing? Like, just every day.
That'll be like an infomercial.
I know, right? Vagina Redesigner, do you have any stalking? Did you like the stalking? You don't change the number. We got that. Just see through them. Anything else that you wanted to comment on from the getting rid of stalkers? The elastic on the back of this dress is so tight.
You could prevent cars.
Stupid. Okay. All right, so the last part, we're gonna wrap up the topic. Let go of the fucking past. Let go of the. I said let go of the fucking. I could have made this so many things. I could say let go of the fuckery. Then I just said let go of the fucking past. I like that too. And then I said let go of past fucks. So I think the next show in 2 weeks I'm gonna do. No, I actually have a show next week. I'll be back next week. Next week we're gonna do right here on Adult Conversation Radio Show on Bellway Radio and Beyond. We're gonna do let go of the fucking past. I just switched the topic, move the words around. And plus, whoever didn't watch, you wouldn't even know anyway. Shit, I could just repeat the whole shit. Can you remain just friends? Or do I have to totally ignore you? So, just hypothetically speaking, if us people, me, you, and y'all, my opinion would be I have to totally ignore you. I can't be just friends with you because you're in too deep. So if you had a stalker, would you rather be friends with the stalker or just totally ignore the stalker? It's not a trick question, I promise.
I know, but
I know.
Really, again, depends on how
the stalker level.
There is a crazy one.
The level of stalking.
Yeah, it's a little stalkery. So
it's not your turn.
I hand it to the right person on the right.
No. Okay, you passing it.
Be like water. You have to ignore them and be their friend.
Yes.
That is going to help you get solitude.
Oh,
whatever
shit.
crazy situation that you are in.
Yes, I agree. Ignore the stalker. I don't see you. What did you say your name was? I do not understand. Why are you still talking to me? And I will say, and I have to, I don't have a problem admitting this. I hate for someone to send me like a fucked up message and like be like, I don't know why you acted like that or some shit like that, and like 29 text messages in. And I'm like, why would my answer change? I don't want to be fucked with. Like, it's just that simple, stalker. But then, like, I did learn from the vagina redesigner that any interaction is good for the person who wants your attention. Any attention is good attention, even being it negative attention. So I must say, I don't get a chance to cuss you out, which I would really like to do, because that would have been what I did in the past. I mean, sometimes I get a message and it's so like abrasive and like you have rights in my life and you don't. And it's like, I don't like this shit. Or like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I would really like to be like, what do I need to say to get you to understand? Leave me the fuck alone. Like, but then they're getting a reaction from me. So I'm a big fan of totally ignore that shit. Let them suffer in their own drama, especially if you told them, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Then there's really enough said. So that was fun. I like that topic. Oh, that was a lot of fun. So the movie I was trying to think of earlier is called Run, Sweetheart, Run, which it went a little demon-y at the end, which I'm all down for the demon-y. But it really definitely was like, it also to me, it was like understanding the power within. So like the young lady had to get through the night without being killed, and she could live. So I think her strength was what really did me in. I mean, it wasn't like the best movie I've ever seen, but I do sometimes watch these movies and I'd be like, oh my God, that's wild as shit. So I incorporated into the shit that I think people think. And it was like a whole setup. He was definitely very demonic, but it was pretty good, you know. I mean, after that shit we watched for your birthday dinner, what the fuck was we watching? The thing in the lizard in the drain? Yeah. Yeah. The river thingy. If we could get through that, I could do any movie. And then the person who turned it on went to sleep on us, but that's either here nor there. So we're gonna play a quick game. I have Sex Talk with Sunshine has not aired since May, and literally I started a new career in June, so that shit has definitely got put to the back burner. And I can't even lie, like I'm in the office on Wednesdays, and that show is slated to air on Wednesdays. And the traffic be so fucking hard getting home from where I'm at to home. I just be like, and then I'm also in on Mondays. Excuse me. So my only day is Tuesday that I'm hybrid. I just necessarily don't have time to put this shit together. So it's just not happening. I do want to come back next month. The show is not at any means ending. I still have a lot of things I want to talk to you guys about on Sex Talk with Sunshine. So I'm hoping to come back next month. But now my weeks got messed up again because now I have Adult Conversation back to back because of the, you get it. It's the scheduling. It's scheduling. But thank you to those, especially my California friends who've been checking on me and be like, when are you coming back on air? So I appreciate you, and I will be back. I promise. And we have some guests coming on AK soon that I just got to do scheduling better and make sure I'm reaching out to them before we're moving on. So I like the games from Sex Talk with Sunshine because I feel like some of those topics I've asked 16 ways this Sunday. But it's still funny to always see your reactions. But then I'll be like, wait, did I ask that before? Did I ask it before? But I mean, if you think about how many fucking questions. So this is 196 of Adult Conversation. And I think on Sex Talk, I'm on 102. So that's over 300 shows, almost over 300 shows of questions I've asked you. What the fuck? I mean, I'm running out of material here. I mean, I get the sex and financial advice. Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh my geez, it gets a lot. But there's always new things to think about, and the world's always trending, and things are always changing. And one thing I'll never run out of is relationship advice and advice to be a better you and a safer you for you. So tonight we're going to play a game, and it's called This Is My Fuck Life. It's Game Master's favorite topic, fuck life. Being sarcastic. He's like, oh, shit. He gets to cheat, though, because he gets the agenda. Like the last one, I just put the questions, and then I had the answers, but you was right on most of them. So you know a lot about that kind of stuff. So all you have to do is fill in the blank. And we're going to make Vagina Redesigner go first this time. So we can see how original his answers are. Are you here? Okay. So fill in the blank. I usually bust at least blank number of nuts per fuck session, but I wish I could bust at least.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Exactly.
2 to 3. But I would like to bust 5 to 6.
He's so greedy.
But
Damn.
the way
Oh my.
my knees and back are set up, depending on how the moon waves,
I didn't see.
it may change.
I didn't see.
So if my back wants to
He's so
and I
stupid.
put to the bottoms of my soul, I can sneak out too. But it's going to affect the volume.
Good answer. I'm like Steve Harvey. Good answer. I don't know what else to say. That's number one. He's so slow. I can't. Oh my goodness. Game Master. Shoot.
I do 1 to 2. I would like to do 3 to 5.
I usually definitely 1 to 2, and I'm fine with that number. I'm satisfied with my 1 to 2 because I'm probably gonna be tired, so I can't even. Yeah.
The 3SL different, man.
I mean, men and women are built different.
You'll power down to 1 in the 3. You would. Just top everyone else off first. And then get your.
Because it's a different structure. So yeah, it's a different structure.
Which I have done.
I mean, usually once if 2 happen, I'm like I'm good. Like I'm good. Like I'm good. Just then I get real selfish and I'm like, you're gonna need to hurry up because I'm tired and I'm good. I need some water and some air. It gets so hot all of a sudden in the room. I'd be like, geez, there's a fan on. Oh, I'm so silly. Okay, so number 2. My favorite place to fuck in my house is blank, but I wish I fucked more in the blank. It's not a trick question.
My favorite house.
My
My favorite place in the house to fuck. I prefer to fuck outside.
I should. You know what? Hold up. No, such an asshole. For you, let's. I'm gonna phrase this different for you.
You can't do that.
The place you fuck the most in your house is the blank, but you wish you fuck more where?
The place I fuck the most in the house is inside my mind.
I can't stand him. It's an ass. And where would you like to fuck more? Outside?
Yes.
Okay.
I like to fuck more outside my mind.
I don't know if I'm asking you the rest of the questions. Yeah, I might not ask you any more questions.
Excellent wordplay.
So, game master, and you doesn't have to be your house. It could just be, within the house, where's your favorite place to fuck? But you wish you fuck more. Because you could want something, but you could, for example, I can't fuck in my yard. I got too many neighbors. Would I like to fuck in the yard? Fuck yeah, but I can't. So that's where I was going with that.
I get you. Mainly, of course, fuck in the bedroom. Of course, I would like to have fuck more in the living room.
In the living room. I used to fuck a lot in the living room. It's funny. I fuck more in the living room when I had a kid at home than I fuck. Now I'm always in the bedroom. I don't even know why. So, but my favorite place, yeah, that's a hard. I don't really have a favorite place, but I definitely fuck more in my bedroom. But I would like to fuck more outside too, but not where I live. I'd have to move. I can't fuck more outside there. Okay, number 3. If I masturbate, I always need to have or use blank to get me there. If it's hypothetically speaking.
Vagina.
That's not masturbating.
Yes, that's excellent masturbating.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
the
Masturbation.
of masturbating. What the woman said.
Okay. It's assisted masturbating?
Sure.
Oh my God, it's so bad. You're not going first next time. I might flip it back. I don't
she
think.
She actually call herself a blow up doll. She felt so excited.
Stupid.
Say, oh, I'm a blow up doll, girl.
I'll go next, and I'm gonna let Game Master go because Vagina Redesigner play too much. If I masturbate, which I don't much, I always need to have lube. Yeah, I definitely would need lube. What about you, Game Master?
I would always need video, some
Visual,
visual.
yeah. My second up was fuck thoughts. I couldn't do it without thinking about fucking. Like, it has to be a precursor to if you're gonna, self-please. All right, number 4. If you shit. If you were to die fucking, if I were to die fucking, I would hope to be in the what fuck position? I'll repeat that.
I would prefer to have a bent over the stove while cooking bacon. If I'm going to catch a heart attack there, and that's where my last nut go in, I want it to be the whiff of bacon in my nose. Right when I bust that nut at the same time.
It did not ask if you were to die fucking, what do you smell? So basically, you going to be behind her while she on the stove. I got it. And bacon is a ride. So nasty. Game Master. If you were to die fucking, what position would you hope to be in?
Cowgirl. So I can, because that's my favorite position, because I like to see the angelic woman that I'm looking at.
So wait, remind me, I'm just tired. Cowgirl is,
She's on top.
so would that be riding?
Yeah,
Oh, that's my shit. If I'm a die fucker, I definitely need to be riding something. So, okay, yeah, I always say ride. Well, you know me, I always say riding. Yeah, I definitely would like to, I could even die reverse cowgirl. because that's pretty hot too. So you could do both views and then spin around twice and then die. And all has been fulfilled. Everyone's happy. Number 5, if I could only fuck outside, I would choose to fuck where? I would say at the blank, but then it limits you. So where would you prefer to fuck? There's got to be something in the woods, like in the forest. Okay, a thick forest or a dense forest. Game master.
A beach.
A beach. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I do love. Yeah.
If you set it up right.
Preparation.
So if I could only fuck outside, I would choose to fuck under a waterfall. Yeah. And it reminds me of if you go to Hito, like I do as much as possible, there's in the nude pool and the jacuzzi, there's a waterfall area. Like there's an area that you could walk inside and the water's coming down and then there's like places you could sit. It's like made of rocks. So I've never fucked in there, but I'm going to try to do that this year. Because I always realize, why have I never fucked? Every time I go in there, I'm literally like, why have I never fucked in here? It seems so logical and obvious. But I actually now, when I go to sleep at night to calm my energy, I listen to the ocean water on my little headset. Thank you, Amazon. I love that shit. So it's charging now. So as soon as I go to sleep, I put the mask on and listen to the ocean water. Yeah, slapping the rocks. So number 6. When I fuck, I often sound like a blank. Okay. Number 6. We got 5 minutes. Number 6. When I fuck, I often sound like a blank. It's like, oh man, you should be on television, not radio. Come on now.
If I'm into it, I'll sound like a mean motherfucker.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'll
Yeah.
sound like a mean motherfucker. You'll sound like I'm coming for your life and I will eat you.
Yeah, definitely a dominant asshole. Yeah, that's what I would coin it as.
You might be in there for your life. And you'll beat the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Might want to watch a couple other how it levels up. You know, just push up to stop.
Understood. Game master, when you fuck, you often sound like a what?
A rookie porn star.
I love that.
Honestly, because I'm thinking back and it's like, it feels like it's like, you're had sex before, but you seem like a newbie in this industry. so you're trying to say the right things. But
That's
at the same
so
time, it doesn't
good.
come off right.
That's so good. Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Yeah.
I'll bite your back.
I can't. That's funny. Oh shit, that was a good one. I didn't expect that. I'm pleasantly surprised with that. So if I had to answer, I'd say when I fucked, I often sound like a bitch. Like I used to be such a dominant, but you can't have two aggressives. That's stupid. So yeah, I sound too pleasing almost, but it works, so I can't complain. Number 7. When I fuck, I hope to reach my highest level orgasm within how many minutes?
30 to 45.
God damn. It's a long time. That make it hot and tired.
TV show. You know what I'm saying?
That's if you watching a series on Netflix. Shit. Most TV shows are 30 minutes. A sitcom is 25 minutes.
If you can hold your nut for 30 minutes.
Now, mind you said hope to. I hope to.
And if you hold your nut for 30 minutes,
You're going to have a good nut, though. I will say you're going to have a good nut. Yeah, you're going to have a good nut. Game Master, when you fuck, you hope to reach your highest level of orgasm within how many minutes?
I would say 20 to 25.
Yeah.
With no commercials.
But no, yeah. I mean, I'm with Game Master. I was gonna say 20 minutes. A good 20 minutes, I'm good. Cause then I still got time to get some water, take a rest, and move on to the next sitcom. So yeah, it works. So 45 minutes seems like forever.
What's he doing at tantric stuff or at whole?
I mean, sometimes like the longer I fuck, the tighter I get. So then I feel like sometimes if I fuck too long, I move away from the orgasm, if that makes sense. Because I can only hold that high level of eroticness, but for so long. So for me, like over 20 minutes, I start going, what? I would never. We live, right? This is a live show. Yes. I didn't say I haven't. When I had the vein pop out my fucking forehead, and I thought that was my death position. No, I'm not saying I can't. But comfortability-wise. 20 minutes is good for me. But I can go longer, but that doesn't mean I need to. Moving on quickly, because we are live. Hey, shit. I'm number 8. Thank goodness. I must absolutely. We got to wrap up. I must absolutely have a blank to fuck you at my best fuck level.
Decent conversation, actually.
That's what's up. And you don't even need to explain because we all know what that means. Game Master. I must absolutely have blank to fuck you at my best fuck level. Now, mind you, he said decent conversation. I'll go next. I would say clear mind. Good. Yeah. I know that one's iffy. It could go either way, but that's what we went right where I wanted to go. Number 9, I cannot get over the time I fuck blank and think about him or her sometimes. I cannot get over the time I fuck blank and think about him or her sometimes. I'll go first. Nobody. There's no one that I feel that way about. So, no one you can think of? Yeah, I can get over most of my fucks. So,
I got a list.
oh, you got no names, and you could just be like a friend from high school or something. You don't have to be specific. Your top, maybe.
Definitely my first.
I wish I could say that, but I can't. But that's a good answer. Great job. That's a good answer. 10. One person that I think about fucking in a fantasy is blank. One person that I think about fucking in a fantasy is who? And it could be, or representation of a character. Alicia Rashad? Yeah. What you want her to read you, Law, while you banging? Game Master. And I don't mean... Wait a minute. Let me say this is a very mild game. It's not like end all be all. Yeah, it's just like and it's a fantasy, so it could be anybody.
Honestly, to this day, she's still fine as wine. Is my favorite porn star, Heather Hunter.
Heather, I heard you say her name before. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Good shit. I would definitely say, which again, I don't actively think about this as a fuck fantasy, but when I see him, I'd be like, oh, I would definitely fuck the shit out of him. I have 2. Don't judge me. Definitely Mark Wahlberg. I just don't know why, but we're going to be on the brothers scene. So we're going to fuck on the brothers set. It's got to be a scene. And then, of course, fucking Aquaman. I mean, they're just my...
He's single now.
hey, I might need to send my message. No, I'm just playing. No, but like, just a thought. And it's literally if I see them in a movie and I'd be like, oh, he could definitely get him some. Yeah, in the fantasy world, so.
And he can meet you at the waterfall.
Or I would definitely fuck Tony Schwartz at TPA. I have to put that out there. I gotta say that. Hey, Tony. All right, number 11. If I had to pick between penetration and head to bust a nut, I would pick. I don't even know why I'm asking you, vagina redesigner. But you better answer cautiously. We got 1 minute. We got to go. You better answer cautiously.
I like that throat.
Oh, but you said before it didn't matter.
I still like throat.
Okay, so you want, yeah, I understand. What about, Jason Mimosa Tony. What about you, Game Master? Penetration. Well, I don't get head, so I have no choice, but I prefer penetration. So, last but not least, and then we got to wrap up. When I bust my best nuts right after, I need what? Watch him say bacon.
I was gonna say bacon.
I know.
Yeah, like good nice crispy piece of bacon. But after you fuck. But Gatorade is an awesome second.
What do you need, Game Master?
Surprisingly enough, a hug.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You need, it's nothing wrong with that. When I bust my best nuts right after, I need to catch my breath. I can't. I mean, I'm gasping for air because, I typically don't fuck soft. We fucking hard, so I need to catch my breath. So thank you for joining me, even if you just popped in. Always good to see you guys, and thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I will see you next week for Adult Conversation Radio Show with your host Sunshine Aces. See you then. Have a good night.